Welcome to Goddesses. I'm your host, Blair Minerva. Today on Goddesses, imagine dedicating your life to a monumental discovery, only to have your contributions stolen and your name erased from history. Today, we uncover the shocking betrayal of Rosalind Franklin, revealing how her groundbreaking work on DNA's structure was suppressed, and what we can learn from her story about fighting for recognition in a world of bias, so you can avoid the same pitfalls. In a dimly lit laboratory at King's College London, a photograph slowly materializes in the crimson glow of a dark room. The year is 1952, and this single image will unlock the secret of life itself. But the woman who captured it stands alone, unaware that her moment of triumph will soon become a symbol of scientific betrayal. You know what it feels like when recognition slips through your fingers, when your contributions go uncredited, your voice unheard. This is the story of Rosalind Franklin, and it's about more than just a groundbreaking scientific discovery. It's about how brilliance can be eclipsed by bias, and how the truth refuses to remain hidden forever. Picture a young girl in 1920s London, pressing her face against a microscope while other children play with dolls. Rosalind Franklin wasn't like her peers. You might recognize that feeling when your passions set you apart, when your interests draw sideways glances. Her wealthy family expected her to pursue a conventional path, but she felt the magnetic pull of science. These weren't just words for her, they were a battle cry. At St. Paul's Girls' School, Rosalind excelled in a rare environment where young women could study physics and chemistry. But excellence came with isolation. While classmates whispered about social events, she lost herself in complex equations. You've perhaps felt this too, the weight of being different, of choosing the harder path. Her father initially opposed her scientific ambitions. But Rosalind's determination was unshakable. She won a scholarship to Cambridge, where she would prove that talent knows no gender. The laboratories of King's College London in 1951 were not designed for someone like Rosalind. The air was thick, with more than just chemical fumes. Male colleagues spoke over her in meetings. They called her Rosie despite her protests. They expected her to make their tea. But Rosalind didn't come to make tea. She came to unravel the mystery of DNA's structure using X-ray crystallography, a technique she had mastered. While others rushed to conclusions, she approached her work with meticulous precision. Every detail mattered, every pattern held meaning. Late one night, after countless attempts, photograph 51 emerged from her careful calculations. The image showed, with stunning clarity, the double helix structure of DNA. In that quiet moment, Rosalind stood at the frontier of human knowledge. She had captured what no one else could see. But science isn't just about discovery, it's about recognition. And in the competitive race to understand DNA's structure, being right wasn't enough. You needed allies, you needed advocates, most of all, you needed to be heard. What happened next would haunt the halls of science for decades. Without Franklin's knowledge or consent, her colleague Maurice Wilkins showed photograph 51 to James Watson and Francis Crick at Cambridge. They immediately recognized its significance. Within months, they would publish their famous paper on DNA's structure in Nature, building their model largely on Franklin's work. You know that sinking feeling when someone else takes credit for your insights, when your hard-won knowledge becomes another's triumph. Franklin continued her research, unaware that her breakthrough was being used without her permission. If you're enjoying Goddesses, please like, subscribe, and scan the QR code for our free 7-day email course, Be an Unstoppable Woman. Lead without apology using quiet power tactics from influential females like Oprah, Malala, and RBG. Now, back to the episode. By 1956, Rosalind's focus had shifted to studying viruses, making pioneering discoveries about their molecular structures. But time was running out. She developed ovarian cancer, possibly from years of X-ray exposure. Even then, she worked tirelessly, publishing 17 papers in her final 2 years. In 1962, Watson, Crick, and Wilkins received the Nobel Prize for discovering DNA's structure. Franklin wasn't there. She had died 4 years earlier at age 37. The Nobel Committee's rules prevented posthumous nominations, but the deeper truth was more painful. Her contribution had been deliberately minimized. You might think this is where the story ends. Another talented woman erased from history's pages. But sometimes, truth has a way of refusing to stay buried. Decades passed. Watson published his account of the discovery in The Double Helix, portraying Franklin as difficult and obstructive. But his words backfired. Readers began asking questions. Why was this brilliant scientist painted so negatively? What really happened at King's College? The truth emerged slowly, like one of Franklin's X-ray images. Her detailed notebooks revealed her careful progress toward understanding DNA's structure. Letters showed her professional integrity and dedication. A different picture formed, not of a difficult woman, but of a rigorous scientist whose work had been appropriated. Today, Rosalind Franklin's name adorns research institutes and universities. Young scientists study her methods. But her story offers more than just a lesson about scientific recognition. It challenges us to examine how we value contributions in our own spheres. Think about the quiet brilliance in your own environment, the voices that go unheard, the insights that get overlooked. Franklin's legacy isn't just about DNA or X-ray crystallography. It's about recognizing excellence wherever it appears, regardless of its source. Here's your challenge. In your field, in your life, who are the Rosalind Franklins? Whose contributions are being overshadowed? More importantly, what will you do about it? Because the most powerful legacy of Photograph 51 isn't just the scientific breakthrough it represents. It's a reminder that truth, like DNA itself, has a structure. It can be temporarily hidden, but its pattern remains. And like Franklin herself showed us, with enough persistence and courage, these patterns will always come to light. The next time you face resistance, remember the woman in that darkroom, carefully uncovering the blueprint of life itself. Remember that sometimes the greatest discoveries aren't just about what we find, but about having the strength to keep looking when others would rather we stayed quiet. Your voice matters, your work matters. And like Rosalind Franklin's legacy, the truth of your contribution will find its way to light. The only question is, will you help illuminate the path for others, or will you wait for someone else to develop the photograph? On the next episode of Goddesses, imagine if Rosalind Franklin had been given the recognition she deserved. Now, imagine a world where another brilliant woman not only defied gender norms, but revolutionized computing. The next heroine of our week is about to change everything you know about programming amidst the chaos of World War II. Stay tuned to witness Grace Hopper's groundbreaking work on the Harvard Mark II and the birth of the first compiler. Please like, subscribe, and scan the QR code, or follow the pinned link to get our free 7-day email course, Be an Unstoppable Woman. 7 days, 7 iconic women. Master the art of quiet power, lead without apology, and turn femininity into your greatest weapon. Click the video that just popped up to watch the next one in this series. Or for episode summaries, behind-the-scenes info, and more, go to daily8.com/GOD. Thanks for watching.